Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of my week-long Incredible Hulk marathon, where I do a week-long content for one of my top 3 favorite Marvel characters, the Incredible Hulk. In today's episode, I will be reviewing one of my favorite movie time games, as well as superhero games from my childhood, as well as a game I personally consider to be one of the 2 best Incredible Hulk games I've ever played from my childhood, and that is the Hulk movie tie-in game from 2003, which I just beat on my original Xbox. Now, this game obviously ties into the 2003 Hulk film that was directed by Ang Lee, which is more than anything else one of the more divisive and polarizing comic book superhero films of all time. Some like it, some don't. But I'm going to save that for a different video. Now, you guys know that what made me a fan of the Hulk was I became a fan of the Hulk, since I was 8 years old back in 2003. I'm sorry, was I 8 years old? Yes, I was 8 years old when the movie came out in 2003. To sum it up short, I loved the movie, and when I saw the trailers for the game, I begged my dad to go see it. So we went to one of our local Blockbusters back when everyone went to Blockbuster before streaming services took everything over. And when I was looking for a game, a teenager who's most likely an adult by now asked me, "What game you looking for, kid?" And I said, "The Hulk game." He said, "Kid, that game is hard, especially the banner missions." And I'm like, "Really?" My dad heard this. He's like, "Really? It's that hard?" He said, "Yes, sir, it is." So we rented it. I played it. And even though the game was difficult at times, I still ended up loving what I saw from the game. Now, I still ended up what I saw from the game. Now, with that being said, um, now with that being said, I did that because time games cost about $60. I think they still cost $60 upon early release. So I waited for the price to go down. Once the price went down, I bought it and I had fun and I had a blast playing it. Anyways, time for the nitty gritty. Is this game one of the best superhero games of all time? In my opinion, it is, and I think it's one of the best movie tie-in games of all time. I know the movie itself isn't exactly as popular as a lot of people wanted it to be, but I still think it's a pretty damn good game for what it is. I mean, the voice acting is great, the storyline is fantastic. As a matter of fact, this game serves as a continuation slash sequel of the movie. No, I am not kidding you. The 2003 Hulk movie tie-in game serves as a sequel to the movie. And that's surprised. I didn't even know about this until I researched the game a couple of years ago. I'm like, wow, it's a sequel? Holy crap. So, voice acting is great. The game's graphics still hold up very well to this day. The gameplay, especially during the banner missions, are very good, which I'll talk about momentarily. The additions of various Hulk villains from the comic books, from the main antagonist, Samuel Stearns, the leader, who, by the way, looks a lot better in this game than he did at all in the new Captain America film. Shaking my head. Madman, the leader's younger brother, Ravage, Flux, and Half-Life. So yeah, there's that. Oh, and Flux. Forgot him. General Riker's gamma enhanced flunky. Anyways, um, the Hulk movie tie-in game to me is a phenomenal game for a wide variety of reasons, as I just mentioned before. But let me give you some detail. The games have cel-shaded graphics, which may be surprising to some people, but I still think they hold up very well to this day. I still think the game's graphics still hold up well to this day. The voice acting is top notch. I mean, it includes Eric Bana, who portrayed the character of Dr. Robert Bruce Banner in the Ang Lee Hulk movie, comes in and provides the voice for Bruce Banner in this game. And personally, I thought he did a great job. Hell, I think Eric Bana was a very good Bruce Banner. With all due respect, I thought he was a very good Bruce Banner. and I thought he played the role very, very well. The game also includes, I'm sorry, I'm going a little all over the place here. Uh, the gameplay is fantastic. I mean, as the Hulk, you straight up beat them up. You take on multitude of enemies at once. You have your punch attacks, your special attacks, your grab attacks. You can pick up objects and beat up people with it, with crates, boxes, cars, clubs, all kinds of stuff. As Bruce Banner, though, it's more like stealth. You know, you got to sneak past enemies. You got to activate some, hack into some consoles, activate some switches here and there. But it's mostly stealth. While Bruce Banner does have his own combat system, you're better off sneaking by enemies, which makes sense. Some people didn't like the banner missions. I, for one, even though they were very challenging, I personally liked the banner missions. So I thought it was part of the game's charm. I thought it added a unique element to it. While I do agree that the Incredible Hulk game that came out 2 years later is way better, I still think the banner missions are a bit underappreciated in this game. Now, the game is not necessarily perfect. While I do think the game, for the most part, is extremely well polished, I do think the game does have a little bit of game bugs and glitches, but not too much. That's pretty much my only nitpicks. That the game does have a little bit of game bugs and glitches, but all in all, I had a fun time playing this game. The game's story, the plot is, while Bruce is on the run from the highly corrupt and mad military general, General Riker, um, the leader, he gets a phone call from his mentor, who he went to who was a professor at college, Dr. Jeffrey Crawford. Says, "Hey, I got this gamma orb. It'll cure you." He goes in, sneaks into his lab, and however, Jeffrey pulls a fast one. Instead of curing him, drains a portion of the Hulk's power from him, and uses the charge as gamma orb, and uses it to become Ravage, and then takes the gamma orb to help this other Gamma Mutate, the leader, who's one of the Hulk's greatest villainous arch rivals in the comic books, create a Gamma Mutate army to help him take over the world. So it's job you as the Hulk to stop Ravage as well as the leader and destroy the orb. That's pretty much what it is. And this game takes place years after the events of the Ang Lee Hulk movie, which I find to be very unique and fascinating. So as I said before, the voice acting is great, the gameplay is fantastic, the cel-shaded graphics are still top-notch to this day. The gameplay as both Hulk and Bruce Banner are still top-notch, especially the Bruce Banner gameplay. Um, all in all, if I was to give this game a grade, on a scale from a 1 to a 10, I definitely give it a really solid 10 out of 10. And as for the grade from an A plus to a screw you, I give it an A plus. It's easily one of the best movie time games as well as superhero games I've ever played, and one of my top 2 favorite Incredible Hulk games of all time. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Stay tuned for another episode sometime tonight, sometime later today or tonight. Hope you guys had a good day today. Hope you guys enjoyed my review, and as always, peace out.